The housing market is nosediving. Shocking new data reveals. Breaking news, Redfin reports 65% of home listings have been sitting on the market longer than a month. That's up from 60% a year ago. Nearly 2/3, 64.7%, of homes that were on the market in June had been listed for at least 30 days without going under contract, according to a breaking report from Redfin. That's up 59.6% a year earlier, making it the biggest annual increase in a year and the highest uptick since June of 2020. And the pattern is confirmed because it's 4 consecutive months in which homes sat on the market unsold for a month or more. Hello, friends. Welcome back. You're watching Chris Igoe. And the unfortunate reality is Redfin's right. Stale inventory is growing fastest in Texas and Florida. And while the previous numbers were national numbers, we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive here into the markets which I serve. Because each and every market throughout the state and throughout the country will trade independently of any other market. Each market is different, and the supply and demand in it is completely unique and variable. So I definitely want to unpack this bombshell news to determine whether Redfin is actually right in the markets in which I serve. And if you or anyone you know is thinking about moving ever, please reach out. We will definitively find your dream home, dream lifestyle, and ain't nobody overpaying on my watch. And if you're thinking about selling because you must sell, ain't nobody not finding the one buyer on planet Earth willing to pay more than anybody else if you must sell. But evidently in Texas and Florida, there are lots of folks that are hoping and praying that someone will buy their home and that they'll be able to get out of the home, hopefully with some money in their pocket. And with all the latest economic news and all the revisions to employment numbers that are happening on a regular basis, it would not exactly blow me down when people finally wake up and realize they're in real financial trouble. And if everybody realizes it at the same time, bar the door, Sally, because it will be an insane seller's market, which means there's going to be lots of homes that sit forever and never sell because the market has evaporated. There are no buyers. Nobody can afford to buy a home at these prices in some markets. But not to worry, Big Papa Pal's coming to the rescue, and it would not surprise me if they pulled a whammy, pulled a rabbit out of the hat, played the political game they need to in order to ensure they get what they want. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw a series or perhaps even a massive Fed rate cut, which would likely stimulate the market unless nobody can qualify for a loan. And I know most agents are out there and most mortgage brokers are out there telling you that it's going to be a bonanza. We're going to see a massive reverse market crash. We're going to see the market skyrocket when they create some liquidity and bring down mortgage interest rates. And they might be right. I don't know. Time will tell. But having been a stockbroker for damn near 20 years and having studied the economy for a long time, and no, I'm not an economist and certainly not an analyst, but I do know how to read, have common sense, and have lots of experience navigating the market and profiting during the great financial crisis, I do know a thing or two about a thing or two. Or perhaps I know nothing at all. I'm just some guy on YouTube making videos. And my pro tip is believe none of what you hear and verify everything that you see. Make sure you fully understand what the actual numbers are in the market in which you're shopping or thinking about selling. Ensure you've got real-time data so that you can make the best decisions for yourself, for your family, and for your financial bottom line. But according to Redfin in Dallas, 63% of listings sat on the market for at least 30 days in June, up 52% a year earlier, which is the biggest uptick in all of the major US metros. It's followed closely by Florida metros. And not to worry, we are going to do a deep dive into the data in each and every city you want to know about. That I cover, which is essentially all of South Florida. So Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach County. So please stay tuned for that live stream. But back to Redfin. It's followed by the 4 Florida metros. Tampa, where 70% of homes on the market in June had been listed for at least 30 days without going under contract. That's up from 60%. Fort Lauderdale, 77% of homes sitting on the market unsold. That's up from 68%. Jacksonville, Florida, 70% of homes sitting on the market unsold, up from 61%. And Orlando, 69%, up from 60%. But according to Redfin, there's a reason for this. And the reason is Florida and Texas are building more new homes than any other parts of the country, adding to overall home supply at a time when demand is fairly slow due to high housing costs, including skyrocketing insurance and HOA prices. If only there was somebody that was telling you about those skyrocketing insurance premiums and HOA prices. Not to worry, I remain committed to sharing the truth so that you're empowered to make the best decisions for yourself, for your family, and for your financial bottom line. Now, while the news I just shared from Redfin is alarming and indicates a massive nosedive, I want to do a little bit more of a deep dive into what's happening in Palm Beach County. So right now, as of yesterday, which is the most recent data that exists, single family homes in Palm Beach County, we're looking at the period from the beginning of August to the 22nd versus July 1st through the 22nd of this year. The average sold price in Palm Beach County is down 8.2% for a single family home versus last month. And since Redfin wants to talk about July, not what's currently happening now in August, I'll go ahead and humor them and let you know what happened in July. But the month's supply of inventory in July skyrocketed 12.7%, jumped from 3.9 months to 4.4. The month's supply of inventory so far in August has almost doubled that. It's up 23.3%, jumping from 4.3 months to 5.3 months. And a 23% uptick in inventory is a whopper. And while the amount of time that homes are sitting on the market unsold so far in August is on the uptick, it jumped almost 2%, 1.8 to be exact, from 57 days to 58 days, which is a vast departure from the frenzy that we experienced during the pandemic era. It is far less common for a home sitting on the market to have a frenzy of buyers chomping at the bit, waiving contingencies, willing to outbid whomever they need to in order to get what they want, which, to be clear, does happen for the right homes in the right places. But for every other home on the market, you can expect to sit longer. And as shocking and alarming as that may sound to some, it's really just a return to normal, because this type of market is more like 2019 than anything we've experienced recently, at least as far as the housing market is concerned. The consumer is definitely not returned to normal. The average consumer is in far worse shape than they were in 2019. But that's a different story for a different day. But if those folks can't afford to buy or sell a home, chances are we're looking at a collapse relatively soon in some places. And with that in mind, I'm curious what Broward County looks like. Single family homes so far, the average sold price is down 8.5%, dropping in July from $837,000 to $766,000. No bueno if you're thinking about selling in Broward, especially if you bought in the last year or two. And the month's supply of inventory jumped predictably, with July being an uptick of 8% in inventory, 4 months versus 3.7, and August, same type of trend, but a lot more explosive to the upside. Damn near 20% more inventory, 20% more homes sitting on the market unsold, 4.8 months versus 4, and no bueno if you're thinking about selling, because there's 20%, actually 19.9 to be exact, more homes on the market for you to compete with if you must sell. Which takes me to Dade County, the 305. The 305 took it on the chin. July numbers, average sold price down 3.5% for single family homes, 1.22 million versus 1.266. No bueno if you sold in June and you bought recently. And August was much worse. The average sold price dropped 12.2% in Dade County for a single family home, 1.118 million versus 1.274. No bueno if you're thinking about selling in Dade County. And the month supply of inventory is no bueno either. There was an uptick in July of damn near 5%, 4.9% to be exact, 4.3 months versus 4.1, And August is a whopper, up 33.4% in terms of homes sitting on the market unsold. 5.6 months versus 4.2. And the question everybody asks is, what will happen next? When will the market fall out of bed? When will there be half-price homes? And truthfully, I don't see it happening anytime soon. But I absolutely know there are people feeling financial distress now. And I suspect there are lots of folks that are going to need to sell in order to continue to live, feed their family. They're drowning in debt and they need help. I suspect those folks are in real trouble. But I could be wrong. Maybe this Fed rate cut, if it happens, will be the thing that propels the market forward and makes home prices skyrocket. That may be true. Time will tell. But make no mistake, volatility season is here, my friends. And if you need help, reach out immediately. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I look forward to seeing you on my next video.